Welcome to GMYou Fantasy Football Intelligence, a research and draft planning platform built to help fantasy football players move from raw data to an organized draft strategy. Every tool on GMYou serves a different purpose. Some pages help you understand production and trends. Others help you compare players, evaluate stacks, find breakout candidates, and build your final draft plan inside the draft war room. GMYou is not just a preseason draft tool. Once the season begins, the data and intelligence will be updated weekly, giving you a current view of player production, usage, trends, availability, and changing roles. Use those weekly updates to manage season-long rosters, evaluate waiver and trade decisions, adjust starting lineups, and research players for shorter format weekly or single slate contests. The overview page is the best place to begin. It gives you a quick snapshot of the fantasy landscape across quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. Set your scoring format first, then use the rankings, fantasy points, points per game, and draft scores to identify players worth researching further. The data and model guide explains where the information comes from and how to read the metrics used throughout GMYou. One of the most important concepts is repeatability risk. Risk does not mean a player lacks talent. It asks how likely that production is to continue based on usage, durability, efficiency, and historical trends. The Intelligence Center organizes players into useful draft signals instead of showing one long ranking. Use feeds like Elite Producers, Model Likes, Regression Watch, and High Risk to find the specific type of player you are researching. You can also filter by position and send targets directly into the draft war room. Trusted Intelligence combines player production, trend, tier, and repeatability risk into one sortable table. Use it when you want a clean model-backed view of the player pool. The table helps separate strong production from strong profiles. A player may score well while still carrying elevated risk, or the model may identify a player whose underlying profile is stronger than the surface numbers suggest. The KPI Lab shows how a player's season developed week by week. This helps reveal trends that season totals can hide. Review weekly fantasy points, 3-week blocks, first half versus second half production, cumulative checkpoints, and position-specific usage. Use this page to see whether a player improved, faded, or relied on a short hot streak. Player Lookup is the fastest way to pull up one player and review their complete fantasy profile. You can review career production, points per game, draft score, recent weighted average, trend, durability, position rank, and season-by-season results. Playa Compare helps answer one of the most common draft questions: which player should I take? Add up to 4 players. Choose the season and scoring format, and compare fantasy points, points per game, yards, touchdowns, model score, and multi-year trends side by side. Player Compare also includes a full walkthrough video on the page for users who want a deeper demonstration of the search, comparison charts, and war room handoff. Team Overview places individual player production back inside the full team offense. Use it to see how fantasy production is distributed across quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. This can reveal concentrated offenses, split backfields, alpha receivers, and crowded position groups. The player stock card turns a fantasy player into a pre-draft stock report. The page gives you a buy, hold, fade, or watch style read, then explains what the model likes, what still needs to be checked, and how aggressively the player should be drafted at the right price. Stack Intelligence helps evaluate quarterback and receiver combinations. Each pairing is evaluated for upside, reliability, correlation, draft cost, combined points per game, ceiling, floor, and risk. The fact check section also shows the player-level math behind the stack. Breakout Intelligence identifies players whose production, usage, or role is moving in the right direction. Players may appear as breakout candidates, veteran rebounds, usage lifts, or single-year signals. Click into a player to see the data behind the breakout index before adding them to your draft plan. The draft war room is where all of the research comes together. Set your scoring format and league structure, then use the recommendation engine, plan grade, projected starter points, and next open need to guide your next decision. Build each roster spot with 3 levels of preparation. Q1 is your preferred plan. Q2 is your backup. Q3 is your fallback. During the draft, lock players when they join your team. If another manager takes one of your targets, mark that player unavailable and the backup options automatically move forward. The Draft War Room page also includes a dedicated walkthrough video that explains the board in greater detail. The GMYou workflow is simple. Start broad on overview, learn the model language, research players and trends, compare your finalists, add stacks and breakout targets, then organize the final plan inside the Draft War Room. GMYou is built to help you research smarter, build your board, and draft with a plan. Visit GMYou.com and start building your draft strategy today. And remember, this site will be updated weekly during the 2026 season to help with weekly decisions.